This presentation is designed and intended to make you laugh, cry, perhaps raise your blood pressure. It's comedic informative about most matters ag. The opinions and conversation of these farmers are in the best interest of the First Amendment of the United States of America. If you can't take a joke, under 18, or on medication, seek help or permission before going any further. Sincerely, Bo and the boys. P.S. Farmers have no money. Please don't sue us. Well, hello, world. Welcome to Bo and the Boys podcast. I'm Bo Allen. With me, to my right, is my dad, my best friend Ian, two over, my best friend Tuff, and the CEO of AftermarketTractorParts.com, Brad Steinecke. Gentlemen,
You get more money
well,
out of him than I do.
Thank you. Thank you.
how is everybody today?
Good to see you.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Well, we have a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to be talking all things ag, and I have a proclamation that I'm going to present to everyone. First, to our sponsors. I want to thank Paul Martin and Sons Equipment in Napoleon and Urbana, Ohio. You guys have really taken good care of this farm and some of my neighbors with your speedy delivery and knowledge of tractor parts, all things Salford and all the other lines that you guys carry. Dalton Ag Products, as some of you have seen on TikTok and YouTube, we had a little bit of trouble getting some parts coming our way from the great state of Ohio here. And I call out to Lennox, Iowa, and Carly and all the good folks there at Dalton, handled our order, took care of the shipping, and spoke to me as if I was a farmer. And again, shout out to Dalton Ag. Last but not least in our sponsor category, again, Mr. Brad Steinecke, AftermarketTractorParts.com. Sir, welcome.
How's it going today?
Pretty darn good.
Good. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here on this podcast.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. So tell me a little bit about AftermarketTractorParts.com.
So a little bit, because that's about it. So the idea of it is that, so we sell aftermarket tractor parts just like everybody else. Nothing special. You can get these parts anywhere. The idea is that if you need them, you can call and you can talk to me and I can explain to you what you need. That's the hitch. If you call us, we're mechanics. We know what we're doing. We can explain to you the best way to go about what you're trying to do.
Sure.
Parts are good quality parts. We use them in our shop. We use them on your machinery. They're great parts. But the difference between us and you calling anywhere is we actually know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I've been a mechanic for 30 years now, and that's still my full-time gig. But we will answer the phone and we'll help you out get parts.
In some of my videos, I've described you and your guys as being ace mechanics.
Ace, yes.
And I sincerely mean that.
We enjoy what we do, and it's fun. We enjoy helping out the farmers, and farmers are always appreciative. It makes a big difference.
I don't know how long that not only I've been a spokesman for you, but also a client.
Correct.
That could be a different commercial for a different time. But every time that I bring a piece of equipment to you, you guys, again, like some of the other sponsors I mentioned, you guys handle our farming operation, the approach to us as we are a farmer or a friend of yours. You handle us in a manner in which we want to be treated.
Well, and it's because I need you as much as you need us. I mean, when it comes down to it, we need you guys for our business. You need us for your business. We got to work together. We got to be friends. We got to have fun doing it,
But maybe, I guess the emphasis coming from me on that is in today's world, you don't see that every day.
Well, I agree, but we try.
Sure.
We have fun doing it. I remember So like a long time ago, obviously the business is at my house and has grown and grown. And you get a farmer that comes up the driveway at 7:30 at night when you're out there playing ball with the kids. And, the kids are kind of annoyed by it. And I said, everybody that comes up that driveway puts food on the table and shoes on their feet. And that was it. That's the way it's always been.
But that could turn into a 15-minute, 45-minute, hour-plus conversation sometimes.
It could turn into a service call at 7:30 on a Friday night.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's the way it's been. And it's been great. I have no complaints.
And not to go too far into this, but you built a new pond.
I did.
And can any of your customers take advantage of that
Correct.
pond while they're waiting on their combine to be
It is the
repaired?
waiting area, we call it. Instead of the waiting room, we have a waiting area. So you're welcome to.
No skinny dipping.
I don't care. Maybe not you.
Dad, I thought you would have jumped in there by now in the pond. And
I was eyeballing it.
There you go.
Yeah, a couple of trips past his house, I was eyeballing it. Ooh,
Hot
look
summer
at
day. You're going to catch me out there in my underwear. I can guarantee that.
that. Yeah. I wouldn't have my swimming suit with me.
That's fine.
But back on point, Brad, if there's someone out there listening, if there's someone out there watching, and they're a little apprehensive to try this, I guess, what's your best pitch to them at this point?
So I'll tell you here's a quick story. So this sums up the way we do business at Aftermarket Tractor Parts. So I had a guy call me one time. He had a 5400 John Deere tractor. Said need a hydraulic pump. So me, I'm like, so why do you need a hydraulic pump? And he says, well, I've changed the filters and done this and this and that. And I still ain't got no hydraulics. I asked him. I said, are you around the tractor? He says, yeah. I said, walk around the back side of the tractor. I said, there's a triangle shaped plate back there, 3 bolts. I said, there's a sump screen in there. That's like your pre-filter for everything. I said, take it out and check it. He calls me back an hour later. He says, you're the worst salesman ever. He said hydraulics work great. He said, I don't need a pump. So what is that going to do? Sell him a pump and then it still didn't work and then, explain it to him later. So, I guess I would say if you're going to use my website, I hope it feels as comfortable as what it would be walking in my shop.
Yeah.
Because that's the way we like to do it. I get people from all over the country calling me and it's funny because they assume that I'm in the middle of a giant warehouse full of parts. And actually, I'm in a big shop full of repair stuff. So, I'm working and I'll take some time and talk to them and get parts ordered. It's great if you just click and order it,
Sure.
but I can always help. It ain't no big deal. But yeah, that's the way we like to do it. And, we make a little money doing it. We help some people out. And if there's parts, we've used these parts for probably 13 years. And with any thing, whether it's OEM manufacturer or an aftermarket company, there are some things that they just don't make very good.
Sure.
And I won't sell them to you.
Yeah.
Because I won't use them in my shop.
Just for context, we are here in my farm shop. Behind us, if you're not watching, are 2 giant combines, or at least from how, I guess, Dad, you grew up farming. And what we did coming through, I guess, the 90s and early 2000s, these are giant machines.
Yeah, we had a little 6-foot pole type.
6-foot pole type. And one of the combines right back here now, Brad, that you've really done great with over the last couple seasons for us as far as maintenance and kind of teaching us a better way to maintain our equipment, carries a 45-foot draper on it.
Yeah.
And that's still not the biggest.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah.
And so I've been at it since 96. So 9600 combine was the biggest back then. And a 30-foot head was giant,
Sure.
And the new one was $135,000, I think.
I remember when I first purchased a 9600 and had a 30-foot head on it, I thought, it's never going to get any bigger than this. How could it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just keeps doing it.
So, Brad, aftermarket, tractorparts.com. How else can people get a hold of you? Email, Gmail?
937-638-0056.
Here you go, folks.
Aftermarkettractorparts.com, or just give us a call.
Aftermarkettractorparts.com. Well, you're not going anywhere because you're staying for the remainder of this show.
I'm here.
But
Yeah.
Brad, thank you very much for
Thank
being a
you.
sponsor
I
of the
appreciate
Bo and the
it.
Boys podcast. So, other notable mentions, real fast.
Your turn.
Actually, I'm going to call it a special thanks to my production team, Mr. Paul, Mr. Gideon, and Jess. Without you three, this wouldn't be possible. Mr. Tony Reed, out in Illinois, growing corn 2020. You have been a positive or negative influence on me. Love your content. Love what you've done for ag. Thank you very much for giving me words of encouragement as we move forward with our podcast here. Shark Farmer TV, Rob Sharkey, 11th season has just dropped on RFD TV. Go check that out, guys. You will not be disappointed if you get a little Shark Farmer in your life. How many of you guys have ever seen Rob Sharkey or Shark Farmer TV? Yes? No?
I think it's pretty good.
We all have. Legacy Farmer is a platform that farmers can use to master their finances and build a great business. As everyone listening to me in ag knows, we are now probably entering our third fall of depressed grain prices. There are all types of different farming operations, and there are all types of operators that have a different red number or red line at the bottom of the page. We have all types of financial institutions that will either give really good advice or sometimes maybe not so much. This Jace Young has an incredible story, and I encourage you to check that out. He's in my notable mentions just simply because it's relevant to the conversation that we're going to start with this podcast. It's relevant to what's going on right now in the world of ag and the families that sometimes have it all on the line every single day. Anyway, I want to plug our YouTube and TikTok channels, South Warsaw Boys. YouTube, South Warsaw Boys, TikTok, South Warsaw Boys. And so now, I want to hear about the weather. Dad.
It's sunny out there. Oh, wait, it's cloudy too. So you got your choice. Yeah.
Well, that's just about as good as I think any other weatherman in the area could do and still collect a paycheck.
Yeah, it might rain later on tonight, or it might not. It might wait till tomorrow morning. Watching the weather right before I come over here, they were saying, well, maybe there's a chance tonight, but maybe a chance tomorrow morning. Well, they said that this morning it was supposed to rain. Where'd that go? Went poof. You look at the radar and it's gone. So yeah, when you're farming, it's a guessing game.
With all the data and all the technology and everything that we have at our disposal, you would think that we could get this more accurate. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Nah. It's Mother Nature, man.
Mother Nature, and welcome to 2025.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. So we've been very blessed. We've been in a bubble that has been receiving fairly adequate rainfall. I know when I took off for Penfield last week to go out to that event out there, when I left and went north out of the farm here, I'm looking at 120 acres of corn that I just thought was probably within about 30 hours of the point of no return.
Mm-hmm.
Junior calls me Saturday while we're trying to shoot a promo for this podcast and watching tractors go across the field plowing. And he says, Dad, it's raining. They sent me a video and, wow. What a difference just a few hours of time with the weather can make. Now, there's a lot of guys around here, and Brad, Eric, Ian, you guys know that have been in the opposite bubble, and they've received almost nothing.
Yeah, that would be me.
Well,
We're dry as dry gets down where I'm at.
Right. And McLean, your right-hand man, was telling me, I think he might be one of those guys in that
Yeah.
bubble that in the
Yeah.
last, 34, 35 days has only received
6
about
tenths.
6 now?
6
Yeah.
tenths in 34, 35 days. Yeah.
That's not enough.
No, not right now.
No, not with the heat that
Not with
we've
the
had.
heat. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, again, for context, we have had, 2.5, 3 weeks now of upper 80s, lower 90s, spotty showers. You think, oh, yeah, crops look great. Hey, wonderful. And then all of a sudden, we're in trouble here. And I don't know. Crop tours are starting.
Are they really?
It's going to be a bumper crop everywhere.
That's good.
I don't know what to think about that. I think we'll save that topic for another podcast, another episode. But what are temperatures going to do next week, Dad?
same as this week. I think I see 91 on Wednesday. Today's going to be the coolest.
Today was a cool day. What, about 82, 83 degrees?
Yeah.
Less humidity?
This is the coolest day of the next week or 10 days.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's calling for a little bit of rain every day, anywhere 30% up to 80%. So
Yeah.
sometimes we come out better with the 30% than we do with the 80%. So it just depends where you're at on that bubble, where it goes through. Yeah.
Tough. What's the saying? 80% guaranteed to get it 10% of the time. Is it something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Well, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Quick market update. These grain markets are horrible. Not a fan. We had 480 wheat, we had 490 wheat, we had 510, 524, and we're thinking, wow, here we go. Wrong answer.
Yeah.
Right back down into the upper fours. If you're like me, you're sitting on everything that you can sit on until you get to that point. You're either forced to sell it, or we get to that point where markets have come back just enough that we're playing the game of selling 10% here, 20% there. I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
Custom guy I operate for, he called 2 days ago and he said, I see where July corn is selling for 15 cents higher. Let's think about hauling some grain in. Okay, well, you probably better lock that in,
Right.
because the time you load the truck and drive there, that may not be the case. Eric, you've been hauling some grain, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been hauling corn over to Marion.
Yeah.
They got a pretty good basis right now. They're 80 over.
80 over.
The local ethanol plant's 50 over. And, for 30 cents, you can drive an hour versus 15 minutes.
Sure.
But, it's hit and miss. Their basis is strong because they're in a corn deficit over there and they need corn, but it ain't going to last
Yeah.
because when everybody rolled to the SEP, everything just kind of took a fall and it just can't seem to get back to $5.
Sure.
And it needs to get back to $5 because everybody's working in the red right now. I don't care who you are.
You can't convince me that we're making money where it's at,
Ain't making
sub
a
five,
dime.
and we are trying to be brainwashed that $300 an acre cash rent is the way to go. And I'm going to be careful how far I go into that, because that's
You better be real careful.
another topic for another time. But so, podcast, farming, agriculture, sports. My 12-year-old daughter has come up with a sports program for agriculture.
Let's hear it.
Very quickly, if your kids on your farm aren't at the heart of what you're trying to do, I don't know. I'm not scolding anybody. I'm just saying that my kids are a part of this farming operation, and I love it to death. To have a 12-year-old come up with ag and equestrian sports for this podcast, it's great. So, here's from my 12-year-old daughter. The Half Century of Progress show is the premier working vintage farm show in the United States. The show allows visitors to experience what farming and agriculture was like 50 years ago and beyond, with live demonstrations and attractions, including celebration of 100 years of Caterpillar this year. I think 2 years ago, when we were out there, it was international. I think the 2 years before that, it might have been, I don't know if it was John Deere, but it just seemed like a whole bunch of John Deere. Anyway, point being, this event is going to take place August 21st through the 24th in Rantoul, Illinois. Yes, we will be there. So if you see me, run. Gates will open at 7 a.m. every day. Flag raising at 9 a.m. Sanctioned tractor pull Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 p.m. Guys, this is a great show. If you've never been to Rantoul, if you are somewhat a part of agriculture, but have never experienced what they do in Rantoul, I encourage you to go out there. And I also encourage you to go out there with a side-by-side or a pretty indestructible golf cart. You can YouTube and TikTok, either from our channels or others, what happens in Rantoul. They harvest there at the old Air Force Base. Then the plowing starts, and they smooth it back out with a field cultivator, pack it back down, and they plow again. And then smooth it back out, roll it back down, and plow again. And there's nothing like standing in between about 150 tractors that are just munching on it coming across field. You know, here we have some pretty good soil, I think. We can hang with the best of them. But out there, black soil.
Potting soil.
Yeah. Awesome show. Okay. She's also got me wanting to tell you that the National Tractor Pulling Championship, also known as Pulltown USA, will be August 14th through the 16th, right here north of us in Bowling Green, Ohio. So here's some crowd participation. O-H-I-O. You got it. One more time. O-H-I-O. It's going to be at the Wood County Fairgrounds. Most of you know about this, so get there again. Pulltown is the world's largest tractor pulling championship in the world. And I'm not going to pull any punches. I had to leave there one time.
Imagine that.
And I haven't been back. So,
Okay, we won't.
we won't go there either.
Yeah,
That's another topic.
I was gonna say, who's you there with?
Another
Never mind.
time. Okay,
Yeah,
and
you.
last but not least, she has brought this story to my attention. This next item is coming with this award that you see here to my right. Now, for those of you just listening, I'm looking at about a 30-inch tall trophy, and I'm looking at a certificate here that says recipient of the National Agricultural and Equestrian Fields Award. This is an award that we will be presenting to the candidates or candidate that stands out in ag, that stands out in equestrian, that is relative to the topics that we are talking about here on this podcast. So here goes the story. We here at Bo and the Boys are giving out this national recognized award for someone with fierce tenacity. This award here in July takes us all the way to North Central Arizona. The person receiving this award today recently gave birth to a very healthy baby boy, but the way this birth went down is what is inspiring and unique to us. It's something that you just don't hear very often. So here we go.
Yeah.
It was time to go to the hospital. Maybe should have went sooner. If you can imagine that, being 9 months pregnant. But who's ever been in a rush to go stay in a hospital or give birth, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, it was time to go, and she woke her husband and 1.5-year-old son up. They loaded into the pickup truck, and headed to the hospital. As they're driving down the gravel road, she becomes very uncomfortable, obviously going into labor. So she turns around in the front passenger seat of the truck, and she's clutching the headrest. Okay? Turned around in seat, clutching the headrest. Feeling the urge to push a couple of times along the way, they're starting to get a little nervous. While she's doing some of her breathing techniques, she has some help from her awesome son, 1.5-year-old, who is also mimicking mom's breathing techniques from the back seat of the truck. Okay? What? Mm-hmm. I mean, can you imagine a 1-year-old making that sound? Priceless. Her husband is on the phone, I'm assuming with 911, to let the hospital know that they're en route and his wife is in active labor. And as they get within 5 minutes of the hospital, she gets one last urge to push. And she delivers their healthy baby boy on the front seat of that pickup truck. That's a woman. Now, I'm not done. She and her husband get to the hospital. She gets out of the truck, umbilical cord unwrapped from around his neck, and she is walking up to the hospital. They are met by hospital personnel and bring a wheelchair out. The nurses see this. They start running her way. Her husband is scurrying to get back to their parked truck and get their 1.5-year-old and himself back into the hospital. She gets to the delivery room for routine protocols now for labor and delivery. But I'm happy to say that all is well with mom and baby, and she was discharged within 24 hours. Now, I don't know about you, but
It's a good woman.
within 24 hours, that's pretty quick as well.
What kind of truck was it?
It was a Ford.
Oh, never mind. Nah, yeah, I'm out.
Ford. That could be a commercial or an endorsement coming in the future.
It could be.
So discharged within 24 hours, around 24 hours. The day of being discharged, she's at home, okay? Doing mom and baby stuff, right? And chore time comes around. Where do you think this new mother is at chore time? She's out feeding cattle, feeding horses. Baby's great. Don't worry
Right.
about that. Baby was in good hands, but she was out on the ranch, feeding and watering her cows. Why? Nothing will keep this hardworking woman down. And let that be a testament. When you are self-sufficient, this couple, respectfully, needs no entourage to live a happy and successful life together. And there's more. Just 2 short months later, she was a flag bearer at the world's oldest rodeo, also known as Frontier Days, which has been held annually since 1888. The picture displayed, you will have seen her mounted on top of her horses Dooley and Tigger, carrying a variety of different flags throughout the rodeo and also in the parade. And she's also pictured there with her 2 boys and her husband. This recipient of the National Agriculture and Equestrian Fields Award goes to Mrs. Tiffany Smith, Diamond Lazy S Cattle, proud wife to Danny and mother of their 2 beautiful boys, business owner and equestrian rider. Miss Smith, we have this awesome trophy for you. We also have a certificate for you. And I want to clap that out. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you guys have any, I'm talking to Radio Land or Spotify Land, if you guys have any examples of fierce tenacity or excellence in ag or equestrian, send them our way. Bo and the Boys Podcast at gmail.com. Bo and the Boys Podcast at gmail.com. And we will review them. And we're going to be handing out more awards. Again, Mrs. Tiffany Smith. Awesome. Awesome story. That came from a 12-year-old.
That's impressive.
I'm pretty happy.
You know?
About that. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So I have a proclamation that I want to read to you guys real fast. We, the American farmer, in a steadfast, resilient, and faithful way, have provided food and other products to the world for generations. For too long, we have been under attack from corporate greed and crippling speculation. The system does not care about our families or our financial bottom line. Outside groups are continuously eroding the farming way of life that our ancestors have fought and died for. We proclaim as now we will be taking it back. So we have a wide range of age here. Dad?
Yeah, we do.
Don't tell my age.
Sonny over there.
Listen, Sonny.
I look like that guy across the side. Yeah.
So 75, 74.
Yeah, yeah. Close.
We've got a very good blend and dynamic of age between the 5 of us right here.
Yeah.
We've seen things in agriculture from the late 50s, early 60s, all the way here to 2025, and a lot's changed. Some of which, the change, I don't like. Can I do anything about it? Don't know. There's talk every day of what we can do about this and what we can do about that. So I guess I'll just start off with that proclamation is from my heart. And that's how I feel. And if I'm wrong about anything said in that, then there's a lot wrong with what's going on in the minds and the hearts of a lot of the American farmer. So I guess, Dad, what do you think about where agriculture, farming, has come from your generation into what you see right now? I mean, everybody talks about the good old days. Yeah. I still think the good old days are right now too, because I get to see my kids out there in the driveway. I get to see them playing in the yard, playing basketball. We're going to football games. We're going to baseball games, basketball games. We're doing all this stuff. I think it's the good old days. But my point, what have you seen coming through the last few decades in agriculture or farming?
Okay, way back when, I have to go back like 60 years when I was out there on the old Ferguson and the little 3-bottom plow.
So this is like the mid 60s?
Yes.
Mid 60s.
Yeah. So anyway, so the size of the equipment's got so big, and I seem to remember back then, you know, if I would break the Ferguson or break the old Oliver, Dad, the old Oliver just spit a whole bunch of oil out. Well, what'd you do? Well, I wasn't doing nothing. I was just driving. Where in today's, you know, I drive for my son, and about the only thing I got to say, it's broke. Here it is. Maybe you better call Brad. And I go to my easy chair.
He's not lying, and I love him to death. But we do a little commercial mowing, no big deal. I just put a brand new set of blades on a Z mower, and
That wasn't my fault.
it wasn't 30 minutes after the crew left. I get a phone call, and there is a shepherd's hook wrapped around not one but two brand new lawnmower blades. Now it's not the end of the world, but
It was in the bush. I couldn't see it.
What were you mowing the bush for?
Yeah, it happens.
Yep.
it happens.
There it is.
There it is.
Broke.
Bro.
Do you remember when my grandpa, your dad, and he worked at a refinery and farmed, but do you remember him struggling to the point that, like you hear me complain or grumble sometimes about, I work 3 or 4 jobs, own 2 or 3 businesses, and it's not enough, and I don't drive new vehicles, I don't have new equipment, etc. Not complaining now. I'm just saying. Did you ever hear him do that?
I don't remember him complaining about that much. It just, when I break something, do something stupid, run the hay baler into the light post beside the chicken coop. Hey, it was in the way. It shouldn't have been there. So, but anyway, wasn't my fault. It's just stuff happens. I mean, things are always breaking, but no, I don't really remember him grumbling that much about the prices.
Sure.
He always stressed save some money.
Did everything rely on it though back then? Like it does now. Like, there's so much money wrapped up in what's going on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Was it? I mean, like back then, did it seem that way or not?
Yeah, well, that's like he worked up the refinery, and so a small farm operation. I think Maxley Farm was 90 acres. Mm-hmm. So I think it was like just a part-time job for him farming and whatever. But his dad and grandpa were brought up in farming, and he wanted to be part of it. And
Yeah, it just seemed like was the risk there like it is now. I mean, you get another bad year and you're in the tank.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got a bunch of money wrapped up in what you got going on.
yeah, no, I don't think he had the amount of money that nowadays is wrapped up in it.
Comparison wise,
Because, he was working in town.
right.
Right across the road here, and maybe you can help me with this story, Dad, but Grandpa had an opportunity to buy this farm directly across the road from the
The
shop
other
here.
40. He bought 40 and somebody else bought
Yeah.
40.
And that land price at that time was, I believe, $300 an acre.
Could have been, yeah.
And Grandma, bless her heart, said, to some extent, that is an incredible amount of money at $300 an acre to buy it. We can't do that. And they didn't.
Yeah.
And I think about that
Crazy, isn't it?
because where cash rents are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cash rent was the price of ground
Right.
back then. Yeah.
Right. Can you imagine? I'm sure I'm not the first to say this. Can you imagine a world where somewhere between $14,000 an acre and $22,000, or you go 2 counties to the southwest, it's $26,000 an acre.
Yep.
Can you imagine my grandkids someday standing up somewhere and saying, Dad, Grandpa, Brad, Tough, Ian, y'all had the opportunity to buy land at $20,000 an acre. Why didn't you do it?
Yeah. It's all relative. Yeah. I'm sure
Yeah.
the $300 is as relative as the $20,000
Yeah.
now.
Times was just as tough then as they are now. The only difference is what it costs to operate.
Just the
And
amount of money.
Just the amount of money you have to flow and be able to flow to make it from one day to the next. And I don't mean 1 month to the next. I mean 1 day to the next.
Yes.
And them guys, had it just as tough as we do. It's just, and I'm not saying we got it tough by any means, because we got it pretty good, in my opinion.
We do.
Look at what you got.
Yeah.
But, you start talking about the price of land. Land's bought and sold every day and has every day of the year for years,
Forever.
and somebody always can afford to pay for it,
Yeah.
and somebody always will sell it.
Yeah.
And it's a generational thing. One generation makes it, one generation saves it, one generation spends it, and that's just the way it's always been.
Absolutely.
And it's just, you go back to change in your proclamation, and you don't like the way things are. Well, things just are constantly changing, and you're never going to stop it. And growth and the size of big business and the size of big farming, it don't matter. Back when your dad was farming, everybody had a hog, everybody had a cow, everybody
right.
had a
Yeah.
flock of chickens.
Right.
Today, you drive up and down the road, and there's hog confinement buildings with 2,500 head in there. You got 10,000 head dairies, and that all is change.
Yeah.
And to say that you're going to stop it, you're kidding yourself, because not one person can stop it. And not one group of people can stop it, because it is so massive. And that change has been happening for so many years. It'll take our kids' generation, if they started now, their kids is going to have to keep working to do what we're trying to do to stop something.
Sure.
And I just, you don't want to say it, but you're better off to deal with it. Yeah, you don't like it, but it's you call me the grouchy friend. Well, I'm a grouchy.
You're my best grouchy friend.
Tough. Not why you call him tough.
That's just the way it
I've
is.
called him tough since 11 years old.
I'm looking at things through my eyes, and I want to buy ground. I'm farming 200 acres, and I own 26.
Right.
And it's just, how am I going to buy ground? Yeah, I'm just going to have to pony up. But there comes a point in time where to borrow $2 million to buy 40 acres, it makes it awful hard to swallow, but it's going to happen sooner or later.
I'm honestly, and this isn't a complaint for all the haters that are probably going to crucify me on comment section or social media for this, but this is not a complaint, but I'm coming to the realization in my 40s that I will not own land.
No, you have to want it. It ain't that you won't, you have to want it. And I'm just telling you that because I'm in the same position. We chose a little bit different direction when we was growing up, but we both ended up in the same place.
Yeah.
It's just how we got there, and you gotta want it. And if you want it, you'll get that piece of ground. You just gotta want it bad enough. I don't want you to think, and I don't want you to tell yourself you can't buy a piece of ground or you won't never buy a piece of ground, because you're wrong. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it.
So one thing that's also changed in the last couple of years, everybody's been a victim of interest rates and hikes. If you have an operating line, you went from in the 2% range up to the 8% range. Maybe some were in the middle somewhere, 7.5, and some were probably 9 or more. So entering the third fall of low commodity prices, interest rates aren't budging, and we're hoping still that things turn around so we can buy a piece of ground when it comes up for sale. But I got to be honest, there's a lot of guys, in my opinion, that are going to have at least one good year to heal up their wounds from what we've experienced for the last, 2 seasons combined. 3.
This would be 4, in my opinion. This would be the 4th one that I can see a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In my customer base, this would be the 4th year. So
It makes me just a little bit nervous.
yeah.
You ain't the only one that's nervous.
I know. I know. Now, all 5 of us are involved in ag, farm to some extent. Also, we all have either a side business we own or work a side job or whatever. Ian, you have a great job in town and you farm with your family, from your perspective, what's that look like moving forward in the next, I don't know, 5 years, decade?
Yeah, everything we farm, we own, so we don't do the operating loans. But the property tax on that is comparable, I would say, to your interest rates.
Yeah.
So paying property tax on this, which is only going up, land value is only going up. Somebody like me that wants to continue, how do I quit my good job that has benefits and do what I've always wanted to do my whole life, and try to sleep at night knowing I'm going to put myself in debt with the way the trends are going right now?
Sure.
I think about it every day.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you do that on your own?
Right.
How do you finance that? I don't have the answers.
When you're looking at crop inputs, seed, chemical, fertilizer, I do a lot of custom work. So to my custom guys, they're looking at equipment costs that, they're paying out in the form of checks for machinery that they don't own. I'm not gonna lie, we're above $35 an acre for combining.
Right.
I've been told by a lot that I'm a decade behind on that price.
Most definitely.
Well, I'm not gonna give up business, but I'm also not gonna run my equipment for free either.
Yeah.
I feel the way things are, yes, I'm turning a profit if I'm looking at it from a custom operator's perspective. Do I want what I should be charging? Yeah, I do. But that's not going to fly for my guys, not right now.
See, I think there's a spot in every business. Like when I started, I charged $30 an hour for repairs. That was 17 years ago.
Sure.
I think, I don't know what the shop rate at the local dealership was, probably 80 or 90 at the time. So I
Plus 20.
at 17 years ago.
Oh, 17 years. I
Yeah.
thought you meant today.
No, like-
well, yeah, 17 years ago.
Right.
It was $80.
Yeah, $80 an hour. I was charging 30, and I didn't make much for 2 years, but I gathered as much freaking business as I could. And
Absolutely.
you're doing, because like we feel that farming will go up. So in a few years, when things are better, yeah, you can charge more because everybody can afford more. It's just the way it is. But if you don't have that, if you don't keep that customer base, I don't think you're going to have it then.
Well, I don't have to tell you what my whole story is, but when I was in high school working, somebody asked me one time, if you want to farm, how many acres would you maybe want to farm someday? I said, man, I'd like to farm 3,000 acres. Oh, well, you'll never do that. Okay. So first field I rented was what, 12 and a half acres, Dad?
Yeah.
I think then I rented some of your ground. I think I rented an 80 the next year, and it snowballed from there a little bit. Now, I don't farm half the state, don't want to farm half the state. I'm comfortable. I think we do a good job, and Tough, you and I are right about the same as far as acreage wise, but I think I do a good job, and I see you guys doing a really good job with what you have. And I don't know. I don't know what the right answer. I don't even know what I'm looking for here to say. But these input prices have to come down in order for me or maybe others to get better at our craft.
Well, one of two things has to give. Either input prices have to come down or grain prices have to come up. You can't sustain what we're doing with where we're at. And free trade is,
It's not free.
it's a barrel. I mean, it's not free trade anymore. Might have been 30 years ago, but it ain't free trade today. The government controls the market, and you'll never tell me otherwise.
The speculation has driven all of us nuts for a long time. It's no different than the weather. Well, there's a cloud. It's going to rain. How do you know that? But you're going to go out and spend $300 on rain gear because there's a cloud right there. You don't have to do that.
So full disclosure, I'm not officially a farmer. Okay.
You're a man of ag.
So hopefully some people that aren't farmers are going to listen to this. So if in 2000, what was the crop price?
Exactly. Right.
But,
I know where you're going with
Is it
this.
super comparable to now? Like, was it more?
In 2000,
Yeah.
it was pretty comparable.
25 years ago, about the same. Like, how many more bushels per acre are you guys raising compared to 2000?
Some.
A little bit?
Man.
5%?
Probably.
How much stuff costs a heck of a lot more? It's insane. That's the way I look
Right.
at it. Like, that's the part I don't understand is not being
25 years ago, a bag of seed corn cost $150.
okay.
Today, it costs over 300.
Yeah.
And you're still planting the same acres with the same bag of seed corn, but your cost doubled. And you ain't getting any more for it.
Right. What's a
It costs you more to combine it, costs you more to
Yeah.
dry it, costs you more to store it.
yeah.
And you ain't getting any more for it than you was 20 years ago.
So let me suggest this. What if, and I realize I don't like change. I've stated that.
Nobody likes
But what
change.
if you can move the needle just a little bit? I'm talking from 9 to 10. What if you can move the needle? You know, a
for
lot
yourself or for the whole spectrum?
I'm talking for every farmer in the sound of my voice. Can you move the needle just a little bit? Let me give it an example of what I'm talking about. Salesman comes to you in August of 2024 and he says, well, you better get your potash bought. Better get your nitrogen locked in for your wheat. Better get your nitrogen locked in for your corn. By the way, seed corn, best discount, August to October or October to December. Best discounts. Come on, write that money. Write that check. Give us the money. If I say no, what will that do?
Nothing.
Because I say no now. But I'm saying to you, what if you say no? What if you get, I'm not advocating for me to start this. What if there's a group of 10,000 farmers in multiple states that say no to that? Will that move the needle? Will that curb any speculation whatsoever? I've been told no on that. I've been told don't even suggest that. Well,
The only thing you can do to do that would be to just go on your own and do like a local guy did and start a group and buy everything in wholesale.
Wasn't there
That-
something called co-ops at one point in time?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the idea behind that? Like, I'm serious. So I'm not a farmer, okay?
You're
Wasn't
dead on. You're dead
you're
on.
spot on, my
Well,
friend.
that one is still
Spot
supposedly
on.
a co-op, but it is not run like a co-op.
Okay.
No.
All right.
You own a share, you get a patronage check,
Okay.
but it's not a co-op.
But if the co-op that you belong to, and if the patronage check in which the co-op is sending
Okay.
is the highest priced input in the area, what's wrong with that? There's a lot wrong with that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that should be true.
Well, it shouldn't be as large as any co-op is right now, because what is there, 3 in our area? Just 3 co-ops.
Yeah, but there
Well,
are
that
there
goes
are
back
businesses.
to size. It goes back
Yeah.
to size and operation, and you got your what you would call a small farmer today,
Yep.
and you have your large scale farmers today, and your co-ops are all geared for the large scale farmers. It just keeps pushing the little guy back farther and farther and farther
Yeah.
all the time. And I know where you're coming from and I know what you're saying, but that's what it is doing. The whole system. Whether it's the co-ops, whether it's the government, whether it's John Deere, whether it's you name it.
Sure.
They're all doing it for their benefit, not for the farmer's benefit. But the thing of it is, and I think they forgot, is they need us to survive. It's just like Brad needing you or us
Yeah.
to bring him work.
Right. And
It all
yeah.
goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I raise my prices to $60 more an hour, Are you gonna bring me stuff?
I'm not bringing combines.
You know what I mean?
I'm going to learn how to wrench way more
Yeah.
than what I'm doing now.
You're going, you know, I don't know. I understand what you guys are saying. And like I said, I'm not a farmer. I've been in the industry my whole life, but yes, I don't farm officially. And it's tough. It's tough for you guys.
Well, again, I don't mean to belittle, degrade, insult, or try and start a war with any group or entity. But these inputs have to come down. Seed corn has to come down. Fertilizer has to come down. I don't care about political anything when it comes to this crap. I don't care if potash comes from Russia. I don't care if it comes from Iran. I don't care. But it has to go down. And we, as the American farmer, can get this done. But it's going to take more conversation, and it's going to take more stewardship on our part to make it happen. And with that, I'm going to wrap this episode up. Are you awake? Are you informed? Are you ready to stand up and start taking back your world that may seem to be slipping away? Keep farming. Keep pushing. Keep praying. Be hard on yourself. Work smarter. Make every day and every moment count. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for the next episode of Bo and the Boys. I'm Bo Allen. We'll see you next time.